Okay, and then to round out this podcast, I wanted to add a couple of things that were completely unrelated to pretty much everything we talk about, but just sort of to like get a vibe for us. So my first one is, do you have an embarrassing story that you're comfortable sharing? And do you want to go first or should I go first? Because I specifically didn't tell you the whole story last week when we went over this because I wanted the reaction to be pure.
I would let you take the reins and start us out. I think of my embarrassing story.
So this is not my most embarrassing story, but it's one that when like I can think of very, very easily when asked this question. So I went to a very small school for the last 2 years of my high school. I think the graduating class was like less than 30 people. So the school was very small and we had a lunchroom with 2 microwaves, but again, small school. So, you know, those cup of noodles that you put water in and then you microwave them?
Yeah.
Or you can put boiling water in, but we didn't have a kettle. We only had microwaves.
Yeah, I grew up lower middle class. I know what cup of noodles are.
So there's cup of noodles, and then there's other versions that are not cup of noodle brand, right? So I had one of these big ass ones that was made by the same company as cup of noodles. So I was like, yeah, I know how to make this, whatever. So I put water in and I threw it in the microwave. And typically with the cup of noodles that are like the regular basic, like 99-cent ones, you leave the lid on and just cracked open, right? For ventilation. The directions very clearly said on this one to not microwave the lid. I didn't read the directions because I thought I knew how to cook a cup of noodles because I've cooked them in the past. So not only did I burn the absolute fuck out of this soup, but I caught the microwave on fire.
Oh no, the microwave?
The whole microwave caught on fire.
What did you do?
There was a fire extinguisher nearby, so I put out the fire, but the alarm went off. The sprinklers didn't go off. So the alarm went off, and I'm not even kidding, because the way this school was designed, it was sort of like 2 stories and then like a skylight. So the kitchen, the smoke and the smell was very easily able to float up to the top of the school. And I'm not kidding when I say this. Everybody smelled it. The entire school smelled. And my coach, so I was in basketball at the time, and my coach, he called me burnt soup for the rest of the year because I caught this microwave on fire.
All right, that's it. From now on, I'm calling Jennifer burnt soup, and no one will get it unless they're OG fans from the first episode.
So there you go. That's mine. Next.
Thanks, burnt soup. All right, my embarrassing story. Again, yeah, not the most embarrassing story. You have to pay a little bit more every month to get that one now. Maybe that'll be the next tier. All of our embarrassing
That'll be on
stories.
OnlyFans.
But I'd say my embarrassing moment, or at least at the time I was embarrassed. It's kind of funny now looking back, but
when I was teaching, and I was a student teacher this time, that's important to the story because I'm running late to a middle school where I'm volunteering at as a student teacher. And so I'm coming from a university, I'm coming from college, right? I'm like running late. I had some test and I'm trying to get to this class where I'm a volunteer. And all of a sudden I get stopped. And this teacher is like, get back to class. And I was like looking behind to see, like what kid's in trouble? Like I'm like behind me. And there's no one behind me. And then I look back at her and she's like, did you hear me? You need to get back to class. And first of all, I'm like, this is
oh my God, am I
nice.
young? Am I young? Is the cream working?
Is the cream? I was just like, I work here. I volunteer. Like I stuttered something out and she was just like, get to class. So I literally got sent to class. And yeah.
Which class did you go to?
I went to the class that I volunteer in.
You didn't even say like I'm a teacher.
I tried to get it out. I was trying to say like I'm a student teacher, but like if you interrupt me mid-sentence, that sounds like I'm a student. I was trying to say I'm a student teacher. teacher. I go to the university. Like, I'm here
Oh
to
my
teach it,
gosh.
help the teacher teach the class. I'm here to help support the students while the teacher does the teaching or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't able to get that sentence out all the way, and because she kept interrupting me and telling me that if I didn't, I was going to get a tardy and blah, blah, blah. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, I just kind of just listened. I just went into the class and shut the
Okay.
door. And then I told the teacher, the host teacher, the teacher actually in charge of the class, I was like, I think I just got into trouble. I don't really know.
It's so funny because when you're an adult, you have an understanding that like you have more, I think, free roam than kids in school. But then when that happens, you're just like, what do I do? It's like trauma.
Yeah. The trauma of public
Funny.
school in America. No.
Yeah. Okay, like that. And then the last question I had before we sort of end today is,
thanks so much for watching that short clip from the Simple Does It podcast. If you're interested in seeing more from Kylie or Jennifer, please click the top link in the description of this video. That'll take you to our Patreon where you can check out our exclusive Simple Does It podcast. Thanks in advance.